Well, what an absolutely wonderful evening, and how pleased and privileged I am to be in this room tonight. So it's my pleasure actually to close the formalities on this very special night and say a few words, but I've had some hard acts to follow and some great announcements by the Minister. What a night. So much to celebrate, catch up with friends and colleagues, face to face, who we've not seen for some time, only on a Zoom screen. Tonight we celebrated the establishment of Research Australia over 20 years ago, following the 1999 Strategic Review by Peter Wills. Research Australia was established to shine the light on our health researchers. The Australian community were well acquainted with our sporting heroes and stage and screen stars, but knew very little about our health and medical research stars. And there were many of them, as we've seen tonight. Research Australia changed the landscape by engaging the community and telling the stories of medical research. For over 20 years, Research Australia has been an effective advocate for health and medical research through engagement with the community and with philanthropy. But Research Australia has evolved to meet the needs of the times, and as we look to a post-pandemic world, a priority will be to work towards a national health and medical research strategy, which the Minister has invited us tonight to participate in. But this must meet the needs of all stakeholders, particularly the community. Who would have imagined, when all those infectious diseases wards in our hospitals were closed down decades ago, we would experience a global pandemic of this scale? COVID is the worst public health crisis the world has faced since the Spanish flu of 1919, when returning troops from World War I took it around the world. With COVID, this took weeks, not years, as we well know. So, learning from history. The history of Australia's response makes an interesting read, and I've been doing a bit of reading recently on that. When Spanish flu struck Australia, the Federation was very young, only 20 years old. The pandemic tested the new nation, particularly when the states closed their borders to protect their citizens. Does that sound familiar? But national initiatives also occurred, which strengthened the Federation, the most important being the establishment of the Federal Department of Health in 1921. Crises often accelerate innovation, and there's our invitation. It's an opportunity we must now grasp. As we emerge from the pandemic, we need to grasp this opportunity as well as the challenges that have been exposed to strengthen Australia's health and medical research sector. The research sector needs to play its role in lifting Australia's productivity and support our government's ambition for economic growth through new industries and job creation. And let's take up that challenge tonight to think about how we're going to take that commercialisation ahead as well. Tonight we showcase the depth and breadth of the fantastic work that you're all doing across the whole research pipeline, from the laboratory to bedside and now into our homes with virtual care. We have also showcased the important role that philanthropy plays in supporting the research sector. And I've had the privilege tonight to sit next to the Millers. What wonderful people and what a great example. And I think it should inspire all those new tech entrepreneurs, billionaires out there waiting to make their contribution. So, the pandemic demonstrated that research timelines can be reduced and greater national and global collaboration is possible, all right? So we need to now take that on board. We need to start seeing the embedding of research into health services as a strategic priority. It is a personal passion of mine to see research implementation and translation speeded up. I've been working in the health sector for over 45 years. I started my career in health services research a long time ago, and it's almost my destiny to come back to it now. But I'm absolutely passionate that we actually take research into the healthcare sector. It's got its challenges, but I think we all need now to work as one to make sure that all those wonderful innovations that we've heard about tonight actually have the impact that we know that they can have. There is great confidence in the research and health sector, and it's never been higher. Who would have thought our state chief health officers would be TV daily fixtures on a first-name basis with the community? Kerry, Brad. Brendan Murphy has become a trusted member of our households as we listen to his daily reports. So as you heard, Research Australia has launched a national consultation to examine how we tackle the challenges and opportunities presented by the pandemic. And I would urge everyone here to participate. We heard Nadia tonight with great passion explain why we needed such a strategy. And we've heard the Minister agree that this is something that we really must do as a nation. So let's all of us get on board. So some thanks. RA is a proudly member-funded organisation. We do a lot of things on a shoestring, and we've got a great team that produce great outcomes. So on behalf of the Research Australia Board, I'd like to thank our members, many of whom are here tonight, for their ongoing support, particularly over the last 2 years as everyone's budgets have been impacted, particularly the universities, and we really appreciate their continuing support. Tonight has been put together in a very dynamic and shifting environment. I'm not sure how many dates we had for tonight over the last 2 years, but it's been plenty, let me tell you. So thank you to the Research Australia team who have worked so hard to get us together tonight. Special thanks are reserved for Nadia for leading the organisation through the uncertainty of the last 2 years. She has navigated us through that storm with vigour, foresight and a deep understanding of the impact that COVID has had on the research sector. We don't call it a Cyclone Nadia for nothing. Thank you to our sponsors, New South Wales Government, Griffith University, Bupa Foundation, my old stamping ground, GSK and the Australian National University. We've been well represented here tonight by state members of parliament and federal members of parliament, and we thank you for that. Our federal and state department colleagues, and Minister Hunt and Brendan Murphy. Everyone who has supported us by coming tonight, we thank you. Before I finish, I want to leave you with a quote that I also found doing a little bit of my research. Research must be actively pursued and developed. As fast as new knowledge is acquired, it must be applied. Billy Hughes, the Federal Minister of Health, spoke these words at the establishment of the National Health and Medical Research Council in 1936, and you know they are still relevant today. So lastly, I'm going to wish you all Merry Christmas because it's only 2 weeks away, safe travels, and hopefully we'll see you all in 12 months in 2022 for the awards. So thank you everybody, it's been a great pleasure.